What's up, team? Coach Dre here. Today I'm going over stretching and trigger point or a little bit foam rolling, but starting off with the bottom of my foot. So basically, I usually like to go from the bottom up. So we start off with the bottom of the foot. Using a baseball. A baseball is pretty inexpensive and it's hard enough to where it will do the job. So basically, first you want to start off on like the arch of your foot, putting enough pressure on it to where it's not painful, but to where you feel a nice, good amount of pressure. And then you want to work your toes through that pressure, up and down. And then right after that, place it in the middle of your foot, right beside the ball of your foot. And again, that's helping to spread the toes and get the blood flowing down to the area with a fast and helping recovery. So I usually love to do this right after a run, which I just finished like a 3-mile run. And then from there, go to the calf. So when you're using foam rolling or trigger point ball or baseball, you want to mainly keep it onto the fatty areas or the meaty areas of the muscle. And when you place it on the muscle, you want to move basically your body around the ball and not necessarily up the ball up and down. At the same time, move your foot up and down to get that muscle contracting, and basically same concept of you're trying to flood blood to the area to help the healing and recovery process. To add a little more pressure, you can cross your legs as you can tell and place the foot on top of the other leg and press down a little more. Calves are pretty tight areas, which they can take, so I suggest put a lot of pressure on it. Helps out. At the same time, this is a lot of movements I try to do daily. It's basically one of my main goals for the past few years has been working on my flexibility, my mobility, and my posture. It's one of the things that if you can focus on and really understand how your body moves, it would greatly advance your growth within working out, and you'll recover faster, less injuries, and also you'll learn a lot about your body, have a better mind-body connection. Now the baseball is in the mid part of my hamstrings. Place it in there, same concept. Try to roll your body around the ball, and same thing on there. The pressure could be pretty intense, but try to sit through it. You let it dig in and breathe through it. One of the things to help yourself relax is breathing through your nose and out through your mouth. From there, you want to take the baseball, you want to target that gluteus medius. This will help out a lot with knee pain or runner's knee. So when you place it on the gluteus medius, at times it's a very sensitive spot. So you will know when you place the ball right there, you will feel a little tingling sensation. That's where you want to hit. Same thing, you want to move that leg through the process of engaging that gluteus medius muscle. So back and forth with the leg and then up and down through the upper thigh. So you want to do this on both sides. Usually I take it between 4 to 5 reps of movement through the ball, as much as I can take. Again, paying attention to my breathing. At the same time, I do try to keep my spine as straight as I can. Again, my posture sucks, but we're not perfect, so that's one thing that I try a lot to perfect on. And the shoulders back and away from the ears. Same concept, leaning over onto the other side, taking your leg through with different movements to really target the muscle. Finish with the ball. Now you want to pattern your movement. So since you're got your legs nice and warmed up, you're able to stretch even further than you were before. So same thing with the stretching. You want to take your time, try to really feel where your hips are and your lower back and your core. So from there, then you want to basically try to reach out to your target reach. And this is pretty good for myself because I used to never be able to touch my toes. At the same time, I'm trying to focus on keeping a straight back, focusing on that stretch and breathing through. It's one of the things that, will help to get more mind-body connection. And now working on that gluteus medius, I'm opening up the hips. From right here, I feel my right hip, which I'm touching now, moving that back and forth through a little movement. It's really tight right there for me. As you can see, I'm sitting at an angle where I wanted to be comfortable sitting at. So basically, I'm focusing on trying to own these positions based off the way my hips and body moves. And also, I'm feeling great stretching the gluteus medius. Add a little more. I lean into it. And as long as that knee is above the hip area, I could go as far down as I want on it. Take a couple deep breaths into it. And again, own that position to where you can sit comfortably in that position. Something I constantly do daily. And it does alleviate a lot of knee pain. Sometimes it feels really good to where like, oh yeah, I could take a little nap. So now going to the other side, same thing. I try to focus on where my hips are sitting at, and then I touch them to see, all right, this is how I want my hip to move. Feel the tightness within my hip. So I'll take it through the movement about 5 to 10 times. Back and forth of moving that little area. Helps out a lot. Again, I'm feeling stretch in my right gluteus medius. And I lean into it, taking deep breaths in through my nose, feeling up the belly, and trying to keep my spine straight. And again, my head away from my shoulders, my ears away from my shoulders. So the more relaxed you are, the easier this move becomes, and the more that your body accepts this as a movement pattern. So really focus on that breathing into the belly, in through the nose, out through the mouth. As I sit up, I focus on rotating my shoulders externally, externally, spine nice and straight, and trying to pull my head away from my shoulders. I got some long arms, and it's a work in progress. Basically elongating the spine. Same time where I'm sitting into my hips and keeping them in a nice, strong position. Still continuing to stretch my shoulders and spine. And from there, a weak hamstring stretch, which I have tight hamstrings. Anyway, so now, again, I like to really pull the glutes to really stretch those, which helps out a lot, because especially if you sit a lot, you should really focus on stretching this. Helps out a lot with, again, knee pain, which we all hate. At the same time, as I'm pulling my knee towards me, I'm trying to straighten my spine and keep my head nice and up. As you can see, I'm not flexible, so I'm trying my best. Same concept, breathing in and out, nice and slowly. Trying to own the movement. And at times too, I do different movements to test my body, feel my body, understand how it moves, what I need to work on to improve it. This is one of the things in your fitness journey you should be doing weekly. Understanding your body will help you a lot to alleviate a lot of tightness, pain, and also less stress in the body. Less stress, less inflammation, the more your body can recover and feel great, like you're young. This is something that you can do at home, anywhere, nice relaxation. This is about a 20-minute session. At the same time, if you have little kids, you can have them join in too. Have them understand just like moving through your body and understand how your body moves for you. So now going to the butterfly stretch. I also like to pull my shoulders down by pulling my feet in more. Again, I have tight thighs, tight hip flexors, tight hamstrings. So I try my best to get my knees close to the ground. Same time, keeping my spine nice and straight. The crown of my head should feel like I'm pointing towards the ceiling. Taking deep breaths in. And I have very tight traps also. So pulling traps down and relaxing into that. Taking my head through the movements. I say these like mobility drills, but at the same time, it's repatterning your body how to move. From there, I like to go into, I like to call it a ball pose. Basically pulling my knees as close as I can to my chest. Same time, straightening my spine out, breathing into it, into my stomach in this position, and trying to relax my whole posterior chain that's touching the floor on to the ground. My back is a weak area for posture, but a strong area for me to where it's pretty tight because I do like to work on my weakest area a lot. And so with that being said, working on it a lot becomes really tight. So laying on the floor helps you to engage your back more, and you're able to breathe in and relax that whole posterior chain in your back. Also, this is great for your lower back also, to turn off your lower, not necessarily turn off your lower back, but relax it and showing you, hey, let your core take over. And then from there, relaxing my arms, elbows touching the ground, hands, fingers touching the ground. Basically, this is almost like a perfect overhead press. It's really hard mobility because I have tight lats, as you can see. It's hard to get those arms straight. This is very common for a lot of muscular and bigger dudes to get that overhead reach. Same time, focus on my scapula, making sure both of those are turning up and down along the floor as my arms go up and down. Same here, keeping my scapula engaged to the ground, taking my shoulders, try to go for overhead reach. As you can see, the left is a little tighter, the right is reaching a little longer. And this is the thing, like I said, you do this stuff with your body to understand, all right, tight in this area, tight on this side. I want to try to balance my body out. From there now, I'm trying to elongate, basically making sure I'm stretching as much as I can, reaching my fingertips as high up, crown of my head as high up, and my toes far out. Basically trying to make myself straight as I can. Breathing through it, elongating your fascia. Gets a little more circulation, feels great. As I come up, take my time, feel my body, feel how it feels. It's really malleable right now. And now I'm going to a bridge. My bridge is horrible, but I'm working on it. It's a work in progress. So basically, you see how close my ears are to my shoulders. I want that to be a little further out. Same time, my hips could be a little higher. Feet could be straight, but hey, it's a work in progress, and I just encourage you all to try it out. And then I like to go into little, almost basically body weight ground movements. A couple of holds and poses, which is one of my goals, is to become excellent at body weight movements, calisthenics. So this is a little stuff that you have to practice each time to get better at it. And the more you practice it, the faster you will be better at the different movements that you need to do. So with all the stretching and everything, I always say set the pattern, basically teaching your body like, all right, this is how far I can stretch. It's okay to go down into that stretching more. So this is like a low squat to where I'm pressing my knees out, engaging my glutes to pull them out more, and sitting comfortably through my whole foot, really feeling my whole foot onto the ground and opening up my hips, and at the same time focusing on straightening my back and lifting my spine. This is getting to know your body, this is trusting your body, and this is also at the same time, it's great to have your body to move through full range of movements. There's better blood circulation, less stress in the body. So think of it as a traffic jam. When your body's tight, your blood is just jamming up in certain areas, and you become a little stressed. And when you become stressed, stress turns into a sickness, or stress turns into a disease or cancer. Always great to nip this stuff early. So when you have some free time, you should be taking your body through different movements, working on your mobility. As right here, this is world greatest stretch. Elongating one leg up, right in line with the shoulder, the foot and the hand, spreading my fingers as wide as I can, lifting the spine, trying to pull my shoulders down, and feeling that stretch in the groin, breathing into it and owning it. Taking your body to this. This is setting a pattern and teaching your body like, hey, this is okay. So since this movement is okay, now we need to strengthen the movement. Pressing forward with my hands, so my forearms are feeling the stretch also. Now going into downward dog. Try to work on trying to keep my feet flat, but as you see, I have tight hamstrings. It's work in progress, but I feel the stretch. I know where I'm working on the stretch. Also, head between the shoulders, back nice and straight. And now, going all the way down onto anterior chain. It's where I'm doing a couple of exercises. Cobra. It's great to help push through. As you can see, my shoulders are close to my ears, so I'm trying to lengthen that. Ears away from shoulders, keeping my hips to the ground, legs flat on the ground, and trying to straighten my arms. It's a pretty difficult move for me. Some of you, it's easy. Hey, like I said, my back is one of my weak areas, but at the same time, it's one of my strongest areas because I work on it a lot, which will help out my posture. So from there, feeling my shoulders. Now I'm gonna take my shoulders through a full range of posterior movement. All the way up, trying to keep your arms straight the whole time, and touch at the bottom. So you want to keep your arms nice and in line with your body. As much as you can, keep it straight, and kind of do it between 5 and 10 rounds of this. It's great shoulder health, especially since we're so anterior dominated. Also, it's forcing your core to be engaged on the ground and holding correctly. So when you're standing, that's how you should feel. Like your core should be nice and engaged when you're arms are going out and above and behind. And from there, going to a plank, pressing through my spine to the top of the ceiling. And so there's a way. I like to do a couple movements, really feel that shoulder stretch and that back. Then focus on to one of my favorite, child's pose. Reach the arms as far up as you can go, taking deep breaths into the belly, and from there, you can sit onto your thighs, or you can begin to slowly slide them out to open up your hips a little more. Relax that lower back, breathing in. If I say to do any one stretch, it'll be this stretch. It's pretty relaxing. It feels great. It's easy to do. Take it back between 5 to 10 deep breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth, filling that belly. Same thing, trying to stay focused on keeping a long, straight spine. Sitting up into it. It's a great stretch session. Feeling it. That was awesome. Thank you for watching. And if you have any questions or comments, leave it. Until next time, peace. I am Energy.